Jim here with Nerdlocker.com, and we are visiting with Michael Biehn and Jennifer Blanc from their project, The Victim. How are you guys doing today?
Good, thank you so much.
Tell us about The Victim.
Well, The Victim is Michael's directorial debut, and Michael also wrote it, and we shot it in 12 days, and I star in it as Annie, and Michael stars in it as Kyle, kind of an homage to his original Kyle, sort of. And there's a lot of winks and nods throughout the movie, kind of like that, with which if you're like a film buff, you'll kind of get right away. And if not, and you get your DVD and you watch it again and again, then you'll get it.
It's basically a kind of a grindhouse movie, you know, low budget exploitation film. I did Grindhouse with Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, and I didn't really know about
Planet Terror.
Didn't really know that much about these movies, except for that when I was a kid, I used to go to the movies, drive-in theaters, and we would go to see Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor, in the main feature, and then there would be a feature before that started at 6, and it wasn't even dark yet, and they'd put this movie on, and it would have Connie Stevens and Vic Morrow in it, and that's kind of who we are.
Movie, grindhouse movie.
And we are basically, we got no money for real, zombie makeup, special effects makeup, visual effects. We don't lots of bodies. So basically, we've got a lot of sex in it, and we have dirty cops and drugs. I thought that was always kind of good. A little bit of torture. I had enough money to do a little bit of action, and then I just threw in a serial killer. And from the time I decided to do this, I wrote the script in 3 weeks. We went into pre-production. We cast it. We crewed up, dealt with the Screen Actors Guild, found the locations, did all of that during the 3 weeks that I was writing the script, and then we rolled into a 12-day shoot and shot it. And it turned out really nicely. We've gotten a lot of really good response from it.
That's one of my questions to you. How does Michael the writer, Michael the director, and Michael the actor, how do they get along? Do they like each other, or they just can't stand each other?
They're kind of all one and the same, I don't even think of myself as an actor when I was doing this, I just kind of thought of myself as, okay, it's my turn, bam, boom, I'm in, and just a tool, really. I mean, I've always described being an actor as being like a color on a painter's palette, and if you're a color red or something, you try to be as bright red as possible and cover as much space with red and have different textures of red, and but in this situation, I'm the painter, and I get to, it's such a low budget on it. I told the guys that were making the movie, it's so low budget, I don't want to look really stupid. I have to make all the creative decisions, and I have to make all the production decisions, and I have to decide when we sell it and who we sell it to. And so I was in charge, and so
He's a good boss to have.
It was fun in that sense. I'm a little crazy. I get a little passionate. People think I'm angry. I'm really just passionate,
That is not a bad thing at all. And similar question to you, Jennifer. How does producer Jennifer like actress Jennifer?
They are a little schizophrenic, so I don't think they're one and the same. But oddly, I thought I was going to have to take off the producer hat and just focus on being an actress, and I just was unable to do that. But somehow it actually worked for me because my mind is moving so fast in general that actually the multitasking actually helped me to focus a little better. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody else, but it makes sense to me.
So now you've played some very, very iconic characters. Obviously, Terminator, Aliens, The Abyss, Tombstone.
Yeah.
How does Kyle stack up against these other characters that we've seen?
Well, I'm not sure if Kyle is a character that is going to jump off the screen in the fashion that those characters did or do. This film, I'm more am prouder of this film than anything that I've ever done before. Any of those characters that I've played before. He's a loner. The story is not so much about him as it is about her. You know, she's really the star of the movie. And when you're an actor, you look for these great roles. And when I saw Johnny Ringo, I said, I knew that was a great role. When I saw Kyle Reese, I knew that was a great role. Well, I wrote the great role in this for her and basically the antagonist. And I'm solid, but I don't think I'll ever play or be in a movie. If I'm lucky, maybe if I get a chance to work with Jim or something again. But the Aliens, the Terminator, and Tombstone are 3 movies that have now those characters. I have like 20-year-old kids, not. I have a 20-year-old kid too. By. Yeah, one just walked by. But I mean, like at a convention like this, I'll have kids who are 20, 21, 22, 23 come up to me and say, you know, Kyle Reese is my favorite character of all time, or Aliens is the best movie ever made. It's my favorite movie. I've seen it 100 times. You know, or you know, Johnny Ringo is the best bad guy I've ever seen. You know, and they're like, they weren't alive when we were shooting the movie. So it's very satisfying to see that those movies have kind of, you know, crossed the generations and turned into classics. And I'm waiting for the day when somebody says, you know, they're tired of watching Alien. I have people say all the time, you know, I've seen Aliens 100 times. I've seen Tombstone 100 times. At college, we used to go, you know, back and forth with the Latin and quote. We used to quote these movies all through college and so on and so forth. So it's been kind of fun. I've been a little bit lucky running into Jim Cameron and having him take a liking to me. But this character's, this movie, the fact that I was able to make it in 12 days, I had never worked on a movie before that was any less than 24 days. For me to make this movie in 12 days and for it to be the quality that it is, I'm prouder of that than I am any of the characters I've ever played before.
And it comes out soon, so maybe I can tell you about that. It opens in New York, which we're going to be present for at the Quad on August 24th, and then it opens in LA on September 7th, which Michael is going to be around that whole week, popping in and out of shows. And then it goes wide for North America on September 18th. DVD, Blu-ray, VOD, online stores, the whole deal. So, I mean, we're just kind of rolling with it and going with the ride. But we're excited, and that's why we keep coming and showing it and showing up where people can see it, because we want to be around.
We've seen it with now, because it's once you make the movie, then you have to sell it. And to sell it, you got to get people to see it. And it's a lot harder to get people to see a movie than you think. You know, the studio executives and like the people at Anchor Bay here are the people that ended up picking it up. And they're the company that I wanted to pick it up. But we have shown this to about 20 audiences. We've been all over the United States. We've showed it in Texas 5 times. We've showed it in San Francisco. We've showed it in no, we haven't showed it in New York. All across Canada. We showed it in Scotland and Japan. And so as we started showing it, people started reviewing it. You know, Ain't It Cool News would come out to one of the Texas showings and so on and so forth. So we started getting some really nice reviews on it. And then the company started being interested in it. So then we got the DVDs. Then we ended up being in a position where we were able to ask for certain things instead of just giving the movie away. So we have a really good deal. Anchor Bay's been fantastic with us. Just absolutely love Anchor Bay. I had a relationship with Kevin Costner because I made a movie called The Divide, and I love Kevin, and everybody's worked here very hard to help this. Also, this poster here was designed by
Rick
Lynch, who is works for a company called BLT.
He owns a piece of it.
Yeah, well, he owns it correctly. Yeah, he owns it. He and 2 other people own it, and he's the L of BLT. well, he does all the posters and for Spielberg. He does all the posters for Jim Cameron, Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, like Juno, all of the.
Country for Old Men, Harry Potter.
He's at the top of his game, and he's a friend of my younger brother's. So he said he would put the poster together for us. So they did the poster and the trailer for us, and we got lucky in that sense. And so things have just kind of fallen into place. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been a lot of hard work getting people to see it, but it's fun to watch it with audiences because they really enjoy it, and it's
buy
kind
our
of
DVD and support us.
I can see why you guys are so proud of it. It seems like a very grassroots from the bottom,
Yes.
building it on up.
yeah, and you can tell when an audience likes a movie and when they don't like a movie, and we've seen it, like I said, maybe close to 20 times with audiences, and they all love it. I mean, sometimes they give us standing ovations, sometimes, and they know we're in the theater, so I mean, there's that factor involved. But you can always tell a good screening is after the screening is over, people will mill around a lot and talk and hang out and stuff, and if it's not a good screening, people are just exiting right and left and so on and so forth. And we've had people hanging out for an hour afterwards, talking and people really seem to enjoy it. It's a lightweight film. There's a little blurb that I put up as a visual effect right off the bat to let people know. Well, I'll tell you what it is. Basically, I start the movie with this really creepy music and the Steadicam shot of the woods, and then I put up with words, not based on true events, So, it kind of gives you an idea, we're not taking ourselves real seriously here, This is fun, this is cotton candy, and so.
Perfect. Thank you guys
Thank you
so much. I really, really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Nerdlocker, The Victim. We are so excited. Can't wait to see it.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Blanc Biehn,
I'm Michael Biehn.
and you're watching Nerdlocker, a place for your inner nerd.
When I was in high school, I never thought I would say anything like that.